Hello everyone, Sandi here. Today we are doing a little walkthrough of the Tree Angel Oracle deck, the Ancient Path into the Sacred Grove. So this is an oracle deck that's kind of been on my radar for a while, but I never picked it up. I wasn't sure about the angel part, but then I just thought, you know what, it's got trees. And I'm just gonna read the angel part as like tree spirits type thing. Anyway, the artwork, as I gather, is really, really gorgeous. And this isn't quite like a first impressions or anything. It's just I got it. I quickly looked a little bit at the cards, but I haven't really taken the time to actually sit with them for a bit. So I thought I'd do that together with you guys. So yeah, this is a deck by Fred Hageneder and illustrated by Anne Heng. It is a nature deck, obviously, and it says here, I'm not going to read it, but I will pause this here so you can pause it and read if you want. Basically, it says here that the Oracle deck can enrich our lives and help us to rediscover our true connection to trees, which, yes, I'm all here for that. So the box is quite nice, actually. It's lacking thumbprints, or thumb cutouts, I mean, which I would prefer, but the lid doesn't go all the way down, so you do have a little bit of like just a little bit of space to like wiggle the lid off. The book is really nicely, fits really nicely in there together with the cards, and look at these gorgeous backs. These backs are so pretty. It kind of gives it does show quite well on in the camera. It looks almost like it's glowing, which gives it a really cool effect. The cards are very glossy, as you can see, and they're quite big. Let me grab I think this is a standard tarot size. But even if they are big, I can actually shuffle them, riffle shuffle them, but it is a bit of a stretch, and I will probably be trimming this a little bit, and you will see why right now, because the borders are huge. They're huge, and I'm not sure. I'm not gonna cut all of the borders off, obviously, because I want to keep the number and the tree name on there, just because the guidebook is not in alphabetical order, it's in numerical order, the contents, I mean. So if you want to quickly find your place in the guidebook, you need the number on there. So if I'm trimming, which I will probably do, I will try and first just cut a little bit off the top and bottom, just to make it a bit easier for me to reach around, and then I might also just cut into half of this white border, just to make it a little bit less big and white. So yeah, one thing I noticed about this first card when I first opened it is that I have some kind of schmutz here, and I can't seem to just wipe it off, so I don't know what that is, if it's just from the printing process or what it is. It looks a bit, it's not a big deal or anything, something I noticed. Another thing I noticed about the production quality is that, or was this another deck? No, this one is actually quite even. I've noticed sometimes, well, there are a little bit of uneven heights here, but that will even out when I'm trimming it myself. But yeah, I've noticed in some US games decks, but this is not a US game deck, is it? No, it's not. But I've noticed in some of the decks that I've gotten recently that the cut on here is not so even, so the riffle shuffling, it gets a bit difficult. Anyway, let's look at these gorgeous cards. So yeah, I'm gonna try and not pick these up because I've zoomed in. But here first card we've got here is Birch. And I don't know if you can tell that well on the screen, but she's holding a little baby. It's like a tree spirit woman holding a little child, and I just love this. This was I've shuffled this and pulled a card for myself already, and this was actually the first card I drew, which I thought was really cool. I've since put it back in order for you guys, but yeah, really love the softness of the artwork in this deck. It feels really ethereal and comforting, which is exactly what I was looking for in this deck. Here we've got the number 1 Ash. There are 36 cards in this deck, and I'm not sure if there are any tarot associations. I just find it so weird that they started with a 0 in an oracle deck, but we'll see what it comes to. It's difficult for me to see this number 1 and the number 0 and not think, fool and magician immediately. So but yeah, I really love the incorporation of these geometrical structures as well, and he's like holding this like energy string almost, and he's got these orbs of light at the top, at his feet and at his head. These cards they're making me feel electric. I believe maybe Kellyanne would call it fizzy. But yeah, they're really... Oh, this one, Walnut. Look at this one. She looks so gorgeous. Oh, I can't with these colours and this artwork. I really, really wish that the illustrator Anne Heng would also do a tarot deck. And if she has, and one of you guys know that she has, then please let me know in the comments, because I would want to snap that up so fast. Oh, the elder tree with the flowers and the berries. And look at her face. So gorgeous. Can't. This one is also really cool. The holly tree or bush, bush. Anyway, if you look really closely at him, do you see that? He's got like the little holly berries balancing on the top of his fingers, which is just really cool. Love the light work here as well. Like you can just see, it feels like all of these beings are like shining. Super pretty. Oh, the rowan tree. If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you'll know that I have a special connection to the rowan tree, and this one makes me so happy. It makes me think of me and my sister, to be honest. Yeah, it's so pretty. The hawthorn, here we've got some really cool symbolism going on as well. We've got the hawthorn berry, the leaf, the flower, and down here we've also got some kind of red and green orb. I'm not sure what that is, but also up here we've got a star. So so I can't I really I laugh. I'm losing the ability to speak really, because it's just I'm getting really excited about um these cards, and the artwork here is just so inspiring to me. I really, really adore this. I still haven't found a card that I don't like in this deck. I'm just sad that it's only 36 cards. I would have wanted this to be twice that amount, at least. But I do really like that there are a bunch of trees here that is also native to my country. A lot of the time in tree decks, there's a bunch of exotic trees, or at least trees that are exotic to me, which makes it difficult for me to connect to them, because it's not the type of tree energy that I am surrounded by on the daily. But here in Finland, oak is actually a little bit. It was rare. Where I grew up, we don't have any oak trees, but where I live now, I'm further south now, and here where I live now, we actually do have oak trees in gardens and parks, and some in the forest. But I think most of the oak trees here in Finland are cultivated. They're not so much growing very wildly here. But either way, the oak tree is a really cool and special tree, and I really love the energy here as well. Aspen. Oh, how cool. Look at this. Jester looking type here, which is quite interesting. I mean, aspen trees usually grow really like a bunch of them together. I think they're actually connected through their root systems. And the aspen leaves, when the wind blows in them, they rattle and make a really like whispering noise. It sounds like they're talking to each other almost. I'm really curious. This is making me curious to see what the guidebook has written about them as well, and that's always a good sign for a deck, in my opinion, when the artwork is first of all gorgeous, but also when the artwork makes you curious. You want to read the guidebook. You want to learn more about the symbology and the choices the choices they've chosen. Here, like the things that they've chosen to include in the deck. I love this hazel card. Look at these little spirits in there. Oh, the facial expressions. You know me, I need a good facial expression in my cards, and I love these so much. They look so cheeky and happy and welcoming. I love it. Juniper. Ooh, okay. Still a very gorgeous card. He reminds me a little bit of the holly. Like the face is quite similar to the holly card, but not quite. Just a little bit. Love this source of light here as well. Really cool. The linden tree. We've got lots of linden trees here in my city. They're planted everywhere. There are very old linden trees here as well. So this is really cool. Oh, I love this light that's coming up from her head as well, and this like arch here. Blackthorn. Oh, he reminds me of someone I know. The face here, but who is it? Ooh, I don't know. Is it a person I know or is it someone like famous? I can't know. I don't know now. But Blackthorn, look at all of these details here. Oh, gorgeous. Oh, the yew. Look at her. She looks majestic. Wow. Oh, I adore her so much. I love these colors, the purples and the greens kind of just meshing together. Oh, field maple. Oh, again, I'm just so enamored with this artwork. Look here with the like pinkish sparkles that are like emanating from her hand on the ground. Oh, just a close up of the face there. So gorgeous. Look at this elm. Ooh, and we have smaller little like sprites here as well, hidden in the tree. He looks like he's beckoning you to come closer as well. Look, it's fun to try and find them all. There's quite a few. Oh, there's another one. I didn't see him at first. Oh. Oh, look at the energy in this one. Black poplar. Look at the wind here and how he's just like leaning into it and receiving this energy. Oh my goodness. Larch. Oh, she looks so joyful. Got a lot of large trees here as well, and we've got some kind of dancing going on here in the background. This star here. Hang on. Yeah, that's also really cool. The star is the number 17 in the tarot. And here we've got a moon in number 18 for White Willow. I definitely think there are some nods here to the tarot structure in the major arcana, which is very cool and makes me very excited right now. Yeah, this has kind of like a sun energy here in the Scots pine. But first, before we move on, look at her. She is splendid. Oh. Adore. The apple tree, she looks like she's weighing the different apples, maybe judging them. I don't know. I might be reaching now, but the yellow here, it just looks so golden. It's amazing. Spruce. I mean, I could read this as the world card, but I kind of also get judgment from this. I don't know. But yeah. Really cool though. And also quite different. I love how we've so far had, all kinds of, greens and oranges, like very kind of summery cards, and now we get to the spruce, which is a huge most of the trees here in Finland are spruces and pines, And so I kind of feel like this is really fitting that we have more of a wintry energy here. It looks like the spruces here are covered in snow as well. Really cool. All right, so then we get to ivy. Really pretty as well. I mean, I'm not going to be able to say much else here. I love everything about this artwork. Like I said, I don't think I've seen a card I don't like yet. Oh, olive. So okay, so now we're getting to a little bit more exotic ones for me. Olive trees do not grow here. This is so gorgeous. Look how the olives are just kind of, she's like funneling them down her arms and into her lap and onto the ground. It's really, really cool. Almond. So we're jumping now. It feels like so far it's kind of been centered in like trees that are found here in up north. And now we're kind of gone around the world in the almond tree. She is so pretty. Oh, this is the artwork on the box as well. Hornbeam. I'm not sure what that would be in my language. If it's a tree that I know here, I don't think so. Either way, look at this walkway here, the kind of like a tunnel. Very cool. Beech. All right, so we do have beech trees, I believe. So incredibly pretty. Oh, cedar of Lebanon. Wow. I'm speechless. Horse chestnut. All right, so we do have them here. I actually have a couple right outside our house. I love this guy. Look at this oldie. He's just sitting there with a bunch of chestnuts in his lap. Oh, that is so gorgeous. Sycamore. Wow. With the bow and the moon beams on her head. I bet this is some kind of nod to maybe Artemis or something. We will definitely pull a card and see what the guidebook says. Alder. So pretty. I absolutely adore when a deck has all ages represented in it. I love, so we've seen all ages so far. We've seen a baby, we've seen children, we've seen people in like their early adulthood, in the middle of their life. Like the ages of the spirits seem to be in all kinds of ranges. Here we've also had a few old, like elderly looking people, even though they're supposed to be spirits or angels, that might not have an age. But I still feel like when we are looking at these things through our human lens, it is so important to not feel like, oh, this deck is just for teenagers or just for people of a certain age. I really, really like this. Oh, look at this little devil holding up a little pear. Wow. I mean, that's clearly a fawn. I don't know why I called him a devil. Probably just because of the horns. But, yeah. Really, really cool. I mean, we have the hooves here. So pretty. Pipal. That's really cool. again, the colors, the light. I'm Ginkgo. Oh, I'm so happy that ginkgo is in here. That's one of the oldest trees on the planet, I believe. It's like one of the, like, ginkgo has been around since prehistoric times. Like, we're talking dinosaur age, and I find ginkgo to be so fascinating and beautiful. I love this colorway here as well. Wow. And no, there's two more cards. Cherry. Oh, I adore that they went with some kind of sensuality here as well. She looks very human for a tree spirit, though. Like, in her skin color isn't green or... yeah. And here we've got the last one, which is myrrh. That's very interesting. That is really cool. I love, look at that little flower in his hand as well. Oh, this is so gorgeous. So let's zoom you out so I can show you how it shuffles. Like I said, it's quite a stretch for me, but because it's not a very thick deck, if this had any more cards, I would be struggling because the cardstock is quite thick. It's still very flexible though, so I'm able to shuffle it, but the bridge is a bit sticky because of the gloss of the cards. So it's not the nicest in that regard. I'm hoping that the stickiness will go away with time and use, and I'm sure it will. But yeah, this is big, but because of its being very flexible, you can see here I can very easily bend them. I don't have to struggle at all. But like I said, the cards are a bit sticky when on the bridge. Let's do a couple more. Right, the overhand shuffling works surprisingly well, even though it's sticky. Oops. But then that kind of thing happened where a whole chunk of cards just don't want to come out because they're stuck together. I do think maybe a bit of fanning powder on this would sort it out, but I don't have any fanning powder, so... Alright, let's just pull a card. We got Ivy. So let's have a little read in the guidebook for the Ivy card. Let's not put that in the glare zone. So let's first of all look at the book a little bit. So we've got contents, very nice table of contents here, easy to navigate. Number 22, Ivy, is on page 98. But before we go there, let's just quickly flip a little bit. We've got an introduction and a PS. All right, to keep this book small and simple, it is devoid of source references. However, all statements and interpretations about past or present religions, spiritual traditions, and the cultural meanings of trees derive from deeper explorations in my fully sourced previous books, The Spirit of Trees and The Heritage of Trees. Right, so this guy who created this deck has been studying, you know, tree lore and such before, and written 2 books about it. That's good to know. Then we've got a bit of a welcoming, Wildwood of the Soul. Right, and then it goes into the Tree of Knowledge, Descendant of the Trees, I'm really looking forward to reading all of this. Nature spirits and tree angels. Tree oracles. The tree angel oracle. Selection of the tree species. Okay, so I'm really happy that they are addressing what they've chosen and why. That's really nice. Let's see here if it mentions the tarot at all. All right. As with many concepts of a spiritual nature involving trees in recent years, the species that form the tree angel oracle are associated with the Irish tree alphabet known as the Ogham. But the tree angel oracle must be applicable much farther afield than the ancient lands of the Celts. Since the Celtic era, more species of trees have found their way into our region. They are often non-native trees that have been introduced into our landscape. But does that make them any less worthy of inclusion? Should we ignore beautiful trees such as the poplar, sycamore, or the Chinese ginkgo simply because they were not growing in our region 2,000 years ago? How can we human beings, given our own brief time on this earth, stand in judgment of such beings? I therefore asked for the forgiveness of several of the Ogham plants, the reed, gorse, and heather, and offered their places to others. There was a whole host of potential candidates, and since the set has been expanded to 36 cards, all the most important species, those that are present throughout Europe, and the climactic belt of the Northern Hemisphere, yes, have been included in the oracle. That's what I noticed. And that's also why I kind of felt that they weren't, I didn't pick up that it was based on the Ogham, because he's removed some and then added a bunch of trees that's not usually in there. The living landscape is in constant flux and we must move with it. Right, every part of the world has its own particular community of trees and plants that reflect its climate and specific characteristics. These include a region's etheric powers and especially its higher spiritual realm. In this way, the living species create a breadth and depth of wisdom. This is why we shouldn't simply plant groves of trees associated with the ancient Irish Ogham, but start by exploring the flora and fauna that occur in a locality naturally and ascertain what is really in their best interests. Getting to know the High Council in our own backyard is very much worthwhile. Recognizing regional differences is also relevant to the tree angel oracle. In practical terms, this means that for some people and some of the questions they pose, it's perfectly acceptable to put certain cards to one side when using the oracle. For example, you may wish to omit the trees from the Mediterranean zone if you live in Denmark. The messages from individual trees overlap each other anyway to a certain extent, as do their roles in the landscape of place and soul. Good, all right. The tree angels and the gifts they bring us are clear and powerful. I highly recommend just drawing one card at a time. However, in this chapter, a number of card spreads are introduced, even though, as they say, less is more, which is especially true when using an oracle, since we often approach a question from a position of not being able to see the wood for the trees. It is frequently more fruitful to probe the depth of a single tree rather than trying to catch the whispering of a whole forest at once. It is also testament to the respect in which we hold the tree angel if the encounter is treasured as a unique gift. Now this I really vibe with, because like I've been talking about my slow practice, I like just pulling one card and sitting with it and using that, or just having one reading that I keep coming back to and reflecting on as my days go by. And I'm currently still working with a reading that I did a month ago, and I'm getting so much out of it. I'm really enjoying it. All right, I'm not going to read any more. From here, we have some spreads. Tree for the Day, The Silent Guardians. Wow. The Primeval Doorway, The Medicine Wheel. And that's it. And now we will go to Ivy at page 98. Was that it? Oh, I have good memory. All right, so let's read about the ivy. The ivy is the only tree in the oracle that has relinquished its ability to grow vertically, its backbone, so to speak. This allows ivy to weave in and out, to climb and crawl, and to wind around things. It succeeds in places where others cannot. It protects other trees and covers ugly ruins and wounds in the earth. High in the canopies of other trees, ivy catches the light that the tree's leaves don't need. Eventually, after many years, it might begin to steal the light from its host tree, but this seldom happens, and only then in woodlands that have lost their natural harmony. It usually occurs as a result of a widespread man-made radiation from a variety of technologies. The Angel of Ivy allows you to take part in its unparalleled willingness to serve the earth. Selflessness, humility, loyalty, and modesty are Ivy's gifts. Sam Gamgee, a Lord of the Rings quote. Sam Gamgee, Frodo's faithful friend in Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, is a brilliant example of this principle. Absolute loyalty and devotion without any thought of reward. In a society that predominantly values wealth and high social standing, it is particularly important for us to take note of Ivy's medicine. It is also precisely this medicine that is indispensable for the healing of the planet. It is time to change our way of thinking and choose new values. May the green heart of Ivy weave its way around the stock market and global corporations and inspire new goals and values. Without the blessings of the Ivy Angel, arrogance, self-seeking, boasting, and smugness come to the fore, and profundity gives way to shallowness. I love this guidebook, guys. This part here I noticed as well when I was reading my birch card, the first draw I got, and it has, for every single card, it does this final paragraph tells us what happens if we are not in contact with this specific energy. And then we also get a little like oracle verse as well. So we've got a little picture of the tree, of the card, and then it says the oracle, and there's a little like poem or verse here. Don't ask for reward or compensation, or whether someone sometime will recognize the greatness of your actions. It makes no difference to you. There is no need for triumph. The greatest happiness is found in following your inner path. Oh, adore. So with that, I am going to love you and leave you, you guys. This oracle has got me all excited and I am in love. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please take care of yourselves, my friends, and be well, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.